blacked out goggles. And always very interesting to see the technicalities of this event, and the blacked out goggles, the tappers, the turns, the finish. It all kind of mounts up over the course of a 400. Very vital.
Well, it does. Swimming's very much a team sport, but when you actually get to the competition bit, your team falls away and you're left on your own, except, I think, Paul, that in S11 swimming, like every S11 race that's won is a genuine team effort, isn't it? If you've got, you only have to have one bad tap and that could be it.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to hit these turns absolutely spot on. Israel Oliver from Spain. Well, he'll be the favourite for this one. He's in the fast lane, fastest qualifying, fastest entry time, I should say, 4:42. Matheus SOUSA from Brazil alongside him. Lane number 5. Again, the start, vitally important as well, Giles, that they get off and don't go immediately under the lane ropes.
It's almost out on its own, isn't it? Again, it's almost the reaction time and the speed of the start is almost secondary to directional stability. If you can get a good start in this class, it means you leave the blocks straight. Well, already, first into the wall here, going to be lane 5, Matheus SOUSA, 31.57. It's pretty quick. Gets a good tap and a good turn. Israel Oliver having a bit of a shocker. He's caught the lane rope and he's stuck on the lane rope. He keeps hitting it and he's losing ground, losing ground, losing ground. He keeps falling back. He's in the black hat there. SOUSA has really got he's got a beautiful stroke for especially for a blind swimmer. Here comes the tap, nice and gentle. Over on the turn, and he's up, and he's nice and square. It's good. Oh, Israel Oliver is skew. Looks like he's going to hit the rope again. He does.
Struggling, the Spanish swimmer, to stay on terms with SOUSA in the early stages of this one. What can go wrong in these S11 races? Here is SOUSA from Brazil. He is leading. He has a big advantage there as he goes into the 150 mark, and over he goes in that time of 140.26. The gap between him and Israel Oliver is just under 4 seconds. In third position, Viktor SMYRNOV, experienced Ukrainian.
Well, SOUSA is just about to, and has just, well, no, he made a good job of it in the end. It looked like he was going to hit the lane rope hard, but he didn't. He found his way over to it, must have just brushed it and used it to steady his course. Israel Oliver is having a very difficult race indeed, keeps catching the lane rope. Good tap, good turn. And Israel Oliver over, and again comes off very skewed and go.
Oh, he's going to bash that lane rope, isn't he, Israel Oliver? Just kind of trying to hug the lane rope is probably the best idea. If you know where the lane rope is, you can kind of guide yourself straight, but you don't want to be right into the lane rope and fighting to get away from it.
Yeah.
And it looks like SOUSA's just got the perfect line there as he was coming down to that turn.
No, we've spoken about the length of the tapping poles before. There's no rule saying how long that tapping pole should or shouldn't be, and there are advantages and disadvantages of having a longer or shorter one. A longer one, you get to tap your swimmer and warn them earlier, but then of course there's a greater margin of error for their stroke rate, stroke length to be out and them get the turn wrong. Of course, you've got to be much more accurate.
There is SOUSA going over there at the 300 mark, 329.28 for Matheus SOUSA. And Israel Oliver still with little bit of a margin to make up there. Israel Oliver, I'm not sure that he's going to pull up that deficit now, because SOUSA has swum this very, very well indeed. And it looks like Viktor SMYRNOV is holding on to third position there, and in fourth place it is the other Ukrainian, ZALEVSKYY.
Well, the Brazilians really have been a well-oiled machine here. Well, here comes the final turn tap, and they haven't got one wrong yet. SOUSA, well, the leg kick starting up there. He's drifted over a little bit and caught the lane rope, and Israel Oliver has upped his game a bit and looks to be coming back slightly on the Brazilian, but it's all going to be too much. There is absolutely no way, I'm convinced, that he can make up the 4 meters that he is down. And here comes the Brazilian into the closing stages of the race. Just one more tap to get right.
Here he comes. Matheus SOUSA is going to win this one. He is going to be the Open champion here in Funchal. He takes that one in 4:43.57. He'll be pleased with that one. Israel Oliver in second position in the Open event. He will be the European champion. And Viktor SMYRNOV there, some 9 seconds behind Israel Oliver, will be the European silver medalist and the Open bronze medalist. And Dmytro ZALEVSKYY will have another European medal for Ukraine. But it was Israel Oliver playing catch-up to Matheus SOUSA all the way through there, the Brazilian swimmer. Well, he really didn't let up after he got that early lead. And I think Matheus SOUSA, just listening to the shouts from the Brazilians in the crowd there, giving them a wave. Of course, the officials and the tappers on the poolside not allowed to tell the swimmers how they have finished until they are out of the water and have those blacked out goggles checked. Lithuanian swimmer in lane number 7, MATAKAS, is in now in 5:55. The final swimmer to finish, Matheus SOUSA, the Open champion, Israel Oliver, the European champion. And there was SOUSA. See how he gets off the block right in the center of the lane at the start there. Great explosion into his stroke. Coming into the tap, just hugging that lane rope, but not close enough that he is banging into it.
And the tap is a real art, isn't it? It really is. Although these sticks are, although the poles are very long, it really is a tap that they're looking for. They're not looking for sort of some kind of thwack. They want just a, but it's got to be firm enough that it's a positive indication. Here, the referee checking the goggles of the swimmers to make sure they're fully blacked out. Any chink of light coming through those goggles will mean disqualification for the swimmer, so it's absolutely critical that they've done a good job of blacking out those goggles.
And the result is confirmed. Matheus SOUSA is the Open champion from Brazil. Israel Oliver, the European champion, and he's followed home by Viktor SMYRNOV and Dmytro ZALEVSKYY.